Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2007 Honda Civic Type R. Up front is a 2.0 liter inline 4 and down below is a 6-speed manual transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this Civic Type R because this is one of the generations of Type R, and there are several that we did not get in the United States, and this isn't eligible for import for several years. I am currently in Tokyo, Japan, driving this Type R to see what us Americans were missing and to figure out how this vehicle drives and handles in its home market. But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. But let's get back to that 2-liter inline 4 under the hood. Well, it is a K20 engine. We're familiar with that. However, Honda has done some witchcraft to make 222 horsepower out of this 2-liter inline 4. That is nothing to thumb your nose at. It is absolutely brilliant. And honestly, even by today's standards, 19 years later, that's still a really solid number for a performance vehicle. The power is so on tap. It is ready to go. It is rearing its head. It wants to run. This is a thoroughbred automobile, which is unfortunate because down here in busy Tokyo, I don't have much space to really even rev it out. But when I've been able to, it has been such a treat. Now, like I said, paired to it is a 6-speed manual transmission. It's a very close ratio transmission. So again, in this crowded metropolitan area, I'm shifting all the time, which is pleasurable. It's fun. It's making this drive very entertaining. It's very engaging, and that's one of the joys of a close ratio box. And last but not least, of course, the Type R is still front-wheel drive like the SI and other standard Civics of the era. However, this does get a limited slip differential, which is a huge benefit out on track. Again, in the streets, not really noticing it too much, but you do get a helical LSD up front. How does it feel to drive the Civic Type R from 2007? It's great. Like I said, that power is almost bursting out of that K20. Every chance it gets, it wants to run. And that is a beautiful feeling here in the Civic Type R. However, the ride quality is, in a single word, shitty. It's bad. It's real bad. Now, that's because this is a performance car. There's nothing wrong with this particular Type R, but it is ready for the track. It is ready for performance driving, and so it has that harsh ride quality because it wants to keep you as glued to the road as possible. So there is a big trade-off. Would I want to daily drive one of these? No. But would I want one of these out on the track? Heck friggin' yeah. Visibility is fine, and it's just cool to be driving a Civic Type R. Not bad. Not bad at all. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, this retains a similar dashboard setup to the USDM version with some gauges up at the top for fuel, VTEC, and of course our speed. And then down below, we get the tachometer and coolant temperature. You get this really cool split dashboard here in the Civic Type R. On the steering wheel, we don't get anything. This is a driver's car. You're not supposed to worry about the volume or cruise control or anything of that nature. Off to the right, we do have a climate control vent. We have our gauge dimmer switch, select and reset, and our engine start-stop button. So it does have a physical key, and you turn that in the ignition, and then you hit the start button. Kind of a weird crossover era where keyless entry and keyless start was becoming a thing, but not quite. Moving on to the door, we do have our power mirrors, power locks, and of course, power windows. Moving into the center, we have an aftermarket radio because every radio in Japan is swapped out. No one keeps their stock radios here, and this Civic Type R is no different. Down below that, however, we do get the climate controls. It has a nice digital readout, fan speed off to the left, temperature off to the right, where to send it in the center, and our hazard switch off to the right. We get a 12-volt outlet and an opening cubby. And we get a Civic Type R badge that actually has the serial number of this vehicle on it. So very, very cool. It makes you feel a lot more special, which is very nice. And just sort of reminds you that, hey, you're not in an SI, you're not in an EX or LX or EXL plus navigation. You are in something special. The shifter is wonderful. It's a Honda shifter. It feels fantastic. The clutch engagement is wonderful, but the shifter looks good. You know, it is sort of that 2007, you know, Need for Speed Most Wanted style of shifter. And we do get this little tiny parking brake. Then we do get a center console with little pop-out cup holders. So we'll do a big freaking bottle test. They're these like little wing holders. Here in Japan, they'll hold the bottles. Bottles and cans are a lot smaller here in Japan, so this makes a lot of sense. My big friggin' American bottle does not fit in here. I was hoping that it would. It unfortunately does not, so it fails the big friggin' bottle test. Then we get the center console and the seats. The seats do say Type R on them. They are aggressive, and they have a lot higher bolsters than what you would find in more traditional Civics. So this is another reminder that this is the sporty high-performance version here for the Civic Type R. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, getting in the back of the Civic Type R, and as you can see, this is where some of the performance starts to sort of hinder the interior space. Because of these awesome, great, sporty bucket seats, I am left with little to no room. This is my driving position. Now, I could move up to accommodate a rear passenger, but I try to do this to demonstrate what real-world backseat space would be available, and it's not much. So that's that. The seats back here do have this like nice Alcantara style feeling to them, different inserts and whatnot. We do not get a rear center console because we don't actually get a rear third seat. There's no middle seat belt. So this is technically a 2+2, where the standard Civic is normally a bench seat back here. So kind of interesting. We don't get anything down here. Headroom actually is pretty good, which is nice. So I have plenty of headroom. It works, you know, the headliner is actually sagging a little bit, so I actually get more than what it appears on camera, which is very, very nice. So love to see that. Let's hop into the very back. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, around the back of the Civic Type R, we do have a trunk release button here on the key fob, and we can pull it up, and it's a pretty standard Civic trunk from back here. You do get that extra chassis bracing, which is really, really cool, and of course helps out with the Type R-ness, but beyond that, pretty standard trunk space. Now we gotta talk about the looks. I actually do really like the look of this generation, not only of Civic, but of the Civic Type R. This does vary a little bit from the USDM version that we got. The taillights are different, the headlights are a little bit different, and it just does look a little bit more special. Of course, to a person like me, but I think it's very, very simple in the way that it looks, and it's not overstated. The Type Rs, as they went on, they started to get these giant wings. They started to get these giant maws at the front of the car that look like it's gonna bite your head off. You don't see that here. This is very relaxed. It's very subdued, just in terms of the styling. I guess it's not too braggiose or too in your face. It's just what it is, and I like that a lot. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the forbidden fruit, the Civic Type R that wasn't available in the United States? Well, I like this car a lot. This is going to be a very hot commodity when they are import eligible. The way that it revs and the way that the engine really feels like a bucking Bronco is fantastic, and I really truly wasn't expecting that out of this. I knew it was gonna be quick. I knew it was gonna be fun to drive. That wasn't really a question, but I didn't know just how excited this car feels, and that's the thing. It's so exciting, and it's not relying on a turbocharger. It feels very pure because it is just straight engine. Yes, it has VTEC. Yes, it has a lot of incredible feats of engineering to make that 222 horsepower out of a 2-liter NA, but it doesn't feel like it needs help. It doesn't feel like it's sponsored by mommy and daddy. It doesn't feel like, oh, it had to have a turbocharger to make more power. It had to do this, it had to do that. This car got here on its own rights. And that's what I love about this era of Honda and just what I love about this Type R. Man, do I want one of these so freaking bad. And it's funny because I never consider myself a Honda guy. I don't think I like overly love Hondas. I think they're good for the most part. But every time I drive something like this, whether it is the Civic Si that we got back home or now this, the Type R, man, it pulls me right back in. I fall right back in love. And it just really truly is something special. Whether it has that special plate in front of the shifter or not, you feel special while driving this and you feel very connected while driving it. And that is a great, great thing. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do want to rent this car, I did rent it here in Tokyo from only JDM Tokyo. If you want to check them out, they did not know that I was going to do this video. So honestly though, like genuinely the rental process was super quick and easy. They walked me through the car, all the stuff that I needed to know. It was actually really great. Again, not sponsored, but if you do want to rent a JDM car in Tokyo, you can do that through them. They have a bunch of really cool cars. My trip here to Japan was made possible by JDM Imports. Go to collectiblejdm.com if you would like to bring home your own slice of Japan, whether it's one of their vehicles in their inventory or if you would like to source and find the perfect vehicle in Japan and bring it to the United States. You can do all of that through collectiblejdm.com. So thank you, JDM Imports, for making this trip to Japan possible. Click the link in the description below. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.